following program has been rated GE. It is therefore suitable for general viewing.
Satvinder, and known by Satvinder, Apostle Satvinder Rommie. I'm a pastor and a businesswoman, a mother, a wife, born and brought up in Nakuru, and I have one sister and one brother. I came from a mixed religion and mixed racial background. My dad is full Punjabi, and he followed the Sikh religion, and my mom is half Kikuyu, half Punjabi, so she followed the Christian religion, and so I'm born between the temple and the church. But again, Nakuru, I went to Lance Nursery, Lance Primary School, high school, I went to Menengai High. Yeah, then we shifted from Nakuru and came to Nairobi after my grandmother passed away, because you know, for Asians, when you get married, when the woman gets married, she gets married to the family. So now when my grandfather passed away, my grandmother passed away, so my dad was like, what are we staying here for? And then we came to Nairobi when I was 15. That is about 1994. Yeah, that's when we came to Nairobi. Yeah. I was alone before my mom brought in my sister, and so I was very loud, very pampered, very spoiled by my dad, because again my mom was not conceiving for 5 years, and then after 5 years I'm born. My dad was so excited, so he pampered me a lot. He loved me and pampered me a lot, spoiled me a lot, and I was a go-getter from when I was small. I don't know if it's as a result of being spoiled. Anything I want, I must get it. That was the kind of attitude I had, and I was a very bubbly and social person. I made many friends everywhere I went. I blended in. I loved people, and funny enough, I started business in school. While yet in primary school, I realized most of my friends during break time, you know, they don't have money to buy things from the canteen, and I was like, and sometimes they get bored of eating the vegetarian stuff, and you're like, now what do we do? So whenever I found a problem, I usually would look for a solution. So I went to my mom and told her, now I need you to buy bread and ham. So I remember I'd take bread and put ham in the middle, and put another piece of bread and make it into a sandwich, divide it into two, and sell it to my friends. And also, like another business I had in school, I had two businesses actually. My dad used to buy me many Asterix and Obelix books, and my friends loved them, and I'd tell them, for 1 bob or 2 bob, I'll let you read my book, and you better return it back. So I think that mentality of doing business and looking for problems and solutions is something I have grown up with. Like I told you, the reason I mentioned I was in a mixed religious background is because I kept hopping from one religion to another. So as I was growing up, I was brought up in the Sikh religion. And then when I came to Nairobi, I was like, I really had a hunger and thirst for God. I became a Muslim. And then, I became very sick. Now I'm coming to the college part. When I became very sick, and by this time my mom was born again, because even her, she used to go to the temple and the church. So my mom was born again. And she led me to Christ because I was very sick and all that. We tried so many things. I was not getting well. She prayed for me. Now, long story short, when she prayed for me and I got healed and I saw the power of Christ, I came to salvation, to Christianity. And so I decided my college, I'll go to Bible college. I want to preach the word of God. And that's how I went to GM Bible School. I studied from there. I did online Bible schools. I did many Bible schools. And from there, I started a church. I felt the call to start a church. But before the church, now when we come to the husband part, actually, I remember praying and telling God that I need you to choose a husband for me. And it's a really detailed and long story, but because of time, when I was in the mission fields preaching the word of God, that's where I met my husband. We got married, and I told him, you know, I've been called into ministry, and I want to do ministry. So he allowed me, and we built a church in Kitengela where I pastor at the moment. And when COVID struck and people are not going to church, I felt like it's time for us to launch deeper. And I asked God, now where do we take this gospel? Yes, every preacher is online, people are sending messages, but how do I launch deeper? And that's when the Lord gave me the idea to reach out to souls in the marketplace. And I felt the call to start a business whereby I'll reach people out in that business in the marketplace. So I told my husband I want to make a trip to Turkey. I want to see the country and see what I can do, because at that time many people were like, we can't go to China because of COVID, and some people are not going to Dubai. The country that everyone wanted to go to for business was Turkey. So when I went to Turkey and I saw some beauty products, I brought them and decided, let me see if I'll do well in this beauty industry. And within 2 weeks, everything I had brought was sold, and everyone was asking me, we need more, we need more. And so I felt like I needed a central place where I can sell these products. And I also felt like, as the Lord is leading me now to go to the business, to the marketplace, for soul harvest, for encouraging people, that's where I need to go. And I'd been working out at Panari, the gym, and I just saw that they have a place secluded. It's like their store, they've kept things there. And an idea came into my mind that, you can actually do a beauty parlor and also stock your products there. And that is how Guzel Beauty Parlor came to be. So before Guzel Beauty Parlor, definitely I could not do full-time ministry, because like I have 4 children, 2 girls and 2 boys. So being a mother, you can't be fully in ministry. My children, the youngest one right now is 9 years old, and he had some health issues and challenges for the first 6 years of his life. We were in and out of hospital. Ministry was not easy while you're trying to bring children up, like you have a child and they reach like 3 years, then again you're pregnant, then you have another one, they are 4 years, and again, it was not very easy. I would only minister on Wednesdays and Sundays, but I thank God for my mom, because she's also in ministry and she was of a lot of help in church, together with my husband, Pastor Rommie. They were really great help. It was not as easy. I could not give all my time to ministry because of children. You need to be there as a parent. Sometimes you feel like I can be there in ministry, yes, but if you leave your children, the church can get another pastor. Your children will never get another mother. And I feel that children spell love a different way. They don't spell it as L-O-V-E. Children spell love as T-I-M-E. Time. The time you spend with them, the time you bond with them. And reading many stories, I didn't want to become the kind of mother who many pastors' children testify that, Jesus is not good. He took away my mom. He took away my dad. They don't have time with me anymore. And because of that time and affection and attention that my parents gave me, I didn't want my children to miss out on that. So I had to create time. I had to put a program in my life. Look, you're going to church on Wednesdays and Sundays. You can get other pastors and other people to do the ministry during the week, but you have to be there for your children. Like on Saturdays, that would be my day to bond with my kids. Monday to Friday, they're in school. So we had a day Saturday. When I have money, I take them out. When I don't, we look for creative ways to bond, because I realize that children become frustrated when their parents are not there around them. And when you look at the Bible, someone like Cain, frustration is not good to a human being. Someone like Cain, his sacrifice was rejected by the Lord, and that frustration led him to kill his brother. So frustration, kids can get frustration, and you find that your children are rebellious. They don't want to hear, they're dropping grades, many attention deficit, whatever name you give it. So I really wanted to be there for my children. So when I preach to them God is love and things like that, they would first see it in me. So that balance was not very easy. But the good thing is now, when all of them started going to school, especially the small one, Monday to Friday, now I can go to church. During the week when we have prayers, I can go to church. But I make sure before they come home, I am there, I'm at home. Before they get home, or when they've just gotten home, I don't let them sleep before they see me, and we have some time together. Yeah, so it's not easy as a mother. You cannot be, especially when your children are young, you can't be fully there from morning to evening. You will miss out on your children growing up. You will. Someone who feels like I need to get out there, I would tell them to do it. Because again, you need a balance. Being in one place all the time, as I told you, I'm a go-getter, social person, and I love people. It doesn't mean that if you're bringing up your children, you're confined to being in the house. You can do other things that you like that can help you strike that balance. The only thing is that you have to be there for your children. Remember, your child is a generation. One child is a whole generation. When Jacob was blessing his children, and when he was blessing Reuben and all his children, he was blessing a generation. When I'm taking care of my firstborn daughter, it's not only her, because she's going to emulate the way I am taking care of her, the way she sees me in the house. If she, like for example, today, I'm a good mother because my mother was a good mother. You know, I see my mom, the way she used to pack lunch for me, make sure my hair is neat. So I copied her. If my mom was a dirty mother, I mean the house is dirty and she's not taking care of us, children always copy their parents. You see? And so when my children see the way I am responsible, they will also become responsible. Their children will see that, they will become responsible. So I feel like when we are raising these children, we have to see it further than one child. This is a whole generation. Because whatever you are doing will be passed on to their children's children. You see, David loved his children because his parent loved his children like that. You get my point? So a mother who feels like I'm going to go crazy, I'm always in the house, you can always look for things to do, but you can always program your day. Like this time to this time, I'm going to do this, this time to this. Just don't deny your children that time. Because when you are not bringing them up, children they need attention. It's like a rose flower. You put it in the box and you make a small hole and it is outside. It will bend towards the light. You get my point? So unfortunately, when we parents are very busy trying to make money and leave wealth and a good inheritance for our children, we don't give them good nurturing and good parenthood. They bend towards where they're getting affection and the time we're not giving them. And most of the times, unfortunately, they bend towards the wrong people. And as you know, it is always said that bad company corrupts good morals. So you find that a very good child would have done very well in school, starts becoming rebellious, their whole life is changed, veering to the wrong direction because parents are not giving children their time. When we come back home, we are on our phone, TikTok, Instagram. I can't tell you not to be on TikTok and Instagram. Myself, sometimes I like winding up in the evening and I'll give myself that time to go to TikTok and, you know, watch those funny videos. But prioritize what is most important. The most important people here are your children. You need to give them time. If today I feel like this business is getting on my way, I am becoming very, very busy, I don't have time for my children, of course I'm not going to shut it down because it's doing well, but I will definitely look for someone and look for something that I'll do to delegate it to someone who can run it for me, even if it is at an extra cost, because I cannot value the life of my children. I mean, I can't put a price and say, no, I have to be at Guzel all the time. I am making money. Without this money, how are these children going to be raised up? How am I going to take care of their expenses? I can be here and I can still be with my kids. We have no excuse, absolutely, for not having time for our children. And don't see your child as one. See them as a generation. You don't want to miss the tail end. So please, let's take a short break and come back.
Get 2 months of Showmax for the price of one? What? In a give, girl power. That blink binge, score marker, and legendary action hero energy. Whoa! The thrills and chills keep out for the streets in a give kupindukia. So subscribe now to get 2 months from only 300 shillings for limited time. In a give Showmax.
Oh, you're here having a coated. You're going to take your oxtail and then you're going to ground
it. Tomorrow night on KTN.
Get 2 months of Showmax for the price of one? What? What? In a give girl power. That blink binge, Squamoka, and legendary action hero energy. Whoa! The thrills and chills keep out for the streets in a give Kupindukia. So subscribe now to get 2 months from only 300 shillings for limited time in a give Showmax.
Mtu wako real na ni Prince of Peace, ukidai naeza kulink up, amenipatia peace na your harmony, ukidai naeza kulink up, ako simple na ni more wa me, ukidai naeza kulink up, his name is Jesus, Jesus, ukidai naeza kulink up. You're welcome, my good people. This is Havoc, the champion girl, and catch me on Tuesday on Behind the Music on KTN. Stay tuned, keep it locked. Bless up.
Under the rock, they wear me I bonita. Feel safe like Mr. Ping and that's open nature. Can't beat me even if you come with that coniata.
Honestly, from the depths of my heart, I love helping people. My passion is to help people spiritually in any area that I can. And I feel like my purpose is whatever I feel like has worked for me, I want it to work. I want to extend the same help to others. In other words, for me to open up Guzel Beauty Parlor is because I want to create employment. This is not the end of my vision, and Guzel is not the end of it. I want to get as many ideas as I can to create as much employment as I can, because I know how it feels like not to be employed. And I don't want to sit down and start complaining that there's unemployment. Well, I myself can do something about it. So my passion is when I see someone walking in and they didn't have a job and I give them that job, I feel like my purpose has been fulfilled. You know, I have helped someone, and that really gives me purpose and fulfillment. When I go to church and I preach and I see someone's life changing through that preaching, I feel like my purpose is fulfilled. So I feel like my service to others is a fulfillment of my purpose. Then that is my core passion in my life. Definitely, when it comes to ministry, it's not easy, because you can walk the journey with someone and then somewhere they just go and leave you, and you feel very heartbroken until you realize that you don't own the ship. You are just there to serve the ship. So that people walking in and you walk with them a whole journey and you feel like they become part of the church family and they walk out. Other challenges of ministry is when definitely there is no agreement, the disunity, when you're really trying to hold the ministry together and there are others who are working against you. And in business, the challenge is starting any business is not easy. You have got to be very patient. And sometimes some people are don't want to be as supportive, especially family members, and it's really heartbreaking and challenging at that point, because you feel like whenever other people have been in need, you've been there for them, and now it's your time and no one wants to come through for you. So those are part of the challenges that I face, you know, not having the support that I have expected. Yeah, and things like that. And sometimes when business is not doing as well as you'd want it to do, so keeping that faith up, keeping that that not giving up spirit is not easy. As they say that winners are not quitters. So for you not to quit, it is a battle, and it is part of the challenge. Yeah, but you need to keep your faith up, because God will not respond to doubt or fear. Yeah, so keeping that faith up, you know, I want to help people. You'll always have that opposition. So keeping that spirit up is a challenge, but always persistence wears out resistance. Yeah. Mentors are very important. One, for accountability. You know, when you open up to your mentor, and this is where I have messed, and this is where I am weak, or I feel like giving up. You know, a mentor is like that extra help. You know, the way God created a woman to be the help of a man, that is what the role of a mentor. A mentor will hold your hand. A mentor will keep you going on, you know, give you words that will pump up your energy to keep on going on when you would have lost hope. A mentor will help you look at things in different perspective rather than the way you're looking at them. Sometimes you have a very defeated mentality because, as you mentioned, for the challenges. But when a mentor hears your problems, they are able to show you things in a different perspective that re-energizes you to continue going on. My greatest mentor, honestly, is my mom. And my husband is also my mentor. My mom has been my greatest mentor. She's the one who's kept me going on, and I can open up to her because she's always taught me that, yes, she's my mother, but she's also my friend. And sometimes if I want to talk to her, she'll tell me, okay, now I hope it is Satvinder the friend talking to me and not Satvinder the daughter. So she's my #1 mentor in ministry and in my life. And my husband, especially in business, he's been my strength. He's already in business. He's faced challenges. He's been my strength. Yes, I am mentoring others. I have people who I'm mentoring, people who have who feel like they want to give up in life. And whatever mentorship I know I have, you see, the beauty of challenges is that when you learn from your mentor, you're able to pass down even greater help, you see, to those who you're mentoring. And I mentor young people in my church. I mentor young family members in my church, definitely. Most of them saying, we want to be like you, we want to have that passion, the zeal like you. And also, I also read a lot of books. So I have many authors who mentor me through their books, especially people like Paul. I like reading the Bible and I seek mentorship from the Bible. Current authors, I love reading books from Andre Murray, the old-time classical writers. I like reading books from Joel Austin, Joyce Meyer, so T.D. Jakes. I love reading books actually, and every month I have to read 1 or 2 books because you see, looking at things in other people's perspective helps you, and it shapes your thinking, and it helps you to have greater vision, and you're able to help others because a teacher cannot help unless they've gone further than the student. So because I know the community and the society is waiting for mentorship, young people will come for mentorship. I try as much as I can to get mentorship from those who have made it so that I can pass the same to those who want me to help them in such an area. My motto is take the first step. That is my motto. I don't like looking at something in its totality. I would look at the vision. When I came here and it was just a store where Panari had put all their things, and I brought a friend of mine and she said, I don't think this can become a salon. I had the vision of how I want it to be, but I started with the first step. You always take the first step, and that is the step of faith. And believe me, the minute you take the first step, everything just comes filling itself up. So far, my highlight has been the feeling that I get when I have accomplished something that was, many people told me I cannot do it. And I went against the grain, against the forces, and I did it. That has been my highlight, to see them succeeding again. That no matter what challenge I went through, no matter how much opposition, no matter the fact that I could not afford, that I have done something that was beyond me. Like when we were building the church, the 800-seater, I didn't think that we could afford it, but again, my motto, take the first step. So after we finished the church and I felt that accomplishment, wow, it encouraged me and propelled me now to come to Guzel. Now when I feel like, wow, Guzel is something many people told me won't work out, and I have done it and I've accomplished, now it propels me to do the next things. The lessons I have learned is always surround yourself with the people who you know you will go somewhere with. I mean, get rid of all those negative people. You want to stay far from them. Let me use an example of the Bible, because the Bible is what has formed my principles in my life. And the Bible says in Psalms chapter 1 and verse 1, blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked. In other words, who does not work in negative counsel. And again, good morals are corrupted by bad company. You could be a very, very focused person and a person of vision. But when you surround yourself with people who don't have that kind of vision, who don't have that kind of potential and that kind of energy in them, definitely you will fail, because they will always keep you off. They'll always tell you how you cannot make it. Secondly, you want people who support you and people who encourage you. Because whenever you feel like you want to fall along the way, these are the same people who are going to help you. Even Jesus Christ himself carried the cross, and Simon of Cyrene helped him to carry the cross when he could not. Meaning that we do need people. That is the first lesson I have learned. You need people, and you need the positive kinds of people. I don't care what you're giving me. If you're giving me negative vibes, seriously, you're out of my life. Even if you're my sister or my brother, I can't kick you out, but I will try as much as I can to stay as far away as I could stay away from you, because I want to do many things in life, and you will stop me from doing them. You will talk me, you will take me to the wrong side. I will stray away. The other lesson I've learned is that you always have what it takes. Don't look for it outside. Sometimes you feel like you want to do something and you feel like, I can't do it. Let me look for strength outside me. Let me look. No, you always have what it takes. The Bible says God will give you the desires of your heart. That verse is twofold. One, he'll give you what you desire if it's according to his will, and something else, he gives you the desires to desire. So sometimes you'd feel like, I'm a pastor, but I feel like I want to open up a salon. That's a desire God has given you. So listen to your desires. Listen to your desires. I feel like I want to do this, I want to do this. Those are indicators that God has given you, that those are the things you should do. So listen also to your heart and to your desire. Don't ignore the desires of your heart. Like, oh, I wish I was a chef. I cook so well. I mean, listen to the desires of your heart. There are many lessons, actually. If I was to tell you, we would spend the whole time. But those are very key. And the third, I think this should have been number one lesson. Put God first. Put God first. You need to put God first, because either you believe in God or you don't. Deuteronomy 8:18, the power to make wealth comes from the Lord. Proverbs 16:3, commit your ways to the Lord and you will succeed. This earth belongs to God. He calls the shots. You really need him if you want anything to work. And let the Bible form the principles of your life. Literally, the Bible has shaped my thinking. Every time I'm discouraged and I look at people like David who never gave up, I look at people like Solomon. I look at Solomon, the way he gave to God and God blessed him. The Bible gives me lessons on how to succeed, you know. And when I read before we built our church, I read this book, I read about Solomon. I saw the way he was a giver, and that's how God blessed him. And he got God's audience even before God told him, even before he went and asked God for something. I started becoming a giver. And that's another lesson, actually. Be a giver. Give to orphans. You keep giving and it will be given back to you. And so, yes. So giving also. Don't be someone who just keeps amassing wealth for yourselves. Give. The more you give, believe me, the more you give, you'll be given. What I wish I was told before I started was the road is never easy. I wish I was just not told about how much, oh, you want to do a salon, oh, you'll make huge profits. You want to do church, oh, you'll get many people. I wish I was told there are challenges and brace yourself for them. And I also wish I was told that sometimes the people who you think would support you are the ones who turn their back the last moment. And I wish I was told, never expect anything from people. Just, even though you did something good to someone and they don't do it back to you, don't expect anything from people, because they'll disappoint you. You are yourself, man solo, you and God.